Hello everyone, and welcome to our Let's Play of Infra Arcana version 19.2. This is the most current version of the game released to the public. I have actually seen, I think there's a new one on the way. I think it's going to come soon. You can see at the bottom here, this came out November 6th, 2017. We're almost a year away from that point. Mr. Martin Tornqvist is still working hard at the game, I'm certain of that. And I've actually seen someone else playing a more recent version of the game, but I think that gentleman got his hands on the beta. He also mentions having spoken directly to the developer, Mr. Tornqvist here. Tornqvist, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that quite. So I'm assuming he had some sort of inside track and got a hold of it. But this is the most recent version released to the public, therefore it's the version we're going to play. And the good news is when the new version comes out, I can probably just play it again. There's a convenient excuse. I may also play the game several times, maybe not in a single video. I may make a succession of videos because I do tend to die quite early in this game. And there are, in the current version, 4 different character classes to try. So I might do several videos, maybe one for each class. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. So what is Infra Arcana? This is a roguelike based on the Cthulhu mythos. I mentioned in a previous video that, last month was my anniversary with my wife, and we got each other books for our anniversary, and she got me some Cthulhu books, some Lovecraft stories, and it certainly got me in the mood to play some Cthulhu games. I'm aware of at least 5 different Cthulhu-based roguelikes. There is this one. There is 2 separate roguelikes called Mythos. There's an Angband variant called Cthulhu, and there's another one called another game called Sleepless Seas or something like that. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I'm also not sure if that last one is commercial or if it's free. If it's free, we'll get to it eventually. The Mythos ones, though, at least one of them is a 7-day roguelike, so we'll get to it probably in the corresponding year. And Cthulhu, I don't want to play until I've played an Angband on this channel, although I'm itching to play it. So that leaves us with this, and this is probably the most widely known and widely played of the Cthulhu-based games that I'm aware of the roguelike games. So let's give Infra Arcana a shot. Let me just pull this down, make sure you're recording okay, and pull this aside. I usually play in full screen mode. It's easier for me to use my OBS Studios recorder if I play in this windowed mode, so it's a little different for me to play, but here we go. There doesn't appear to be, much to my surprise, there does not appear to be mouse support in this. It's keyboard based only. You can use the arrow keys here, or you can use the number pad. Let's go to New Journey to start a new game. Now you can see right here we have 4 different classes. We can play a ghoul, an occultist, a rogue, or a war veteran. Before we even go any further, I should also mention there is sound in this game. You can't hear it now. It's actually cut out now entirely, but there is, I don't know if you were hearing that music in the opening or not. I've got I won't be able to check the associated volume until I watch this back. So I hope you're detecting the sound, because there is some nice atmospheric sound as we go. What do we want to play here? I've played 2 previous games of this version, 19.2. I've played a bunch of games, not a bunch, maybe 3 or 4 times in past years, in earlier versions of the game, but the game has changed a lot. War Veteran is the most straightforward. He's like just a generic tough guy fighter. The Rogue is a much stealthier build, only really possible with more recent versions of the game like this. I know in earlier versions of the game, the game played differently. I'll talk about that when we dive in. Occultist is kind of your mage, and Ghoul is quite an interesting one. Look at this. Does not regenerate hit points, cannot use medical equipment, but heals by feeding on corpses. Can incite frenzy. Double speed, 10% melee hit chance, +1 melee damage, must move towards enemies. Does not become weakened when the frenzy ends. Plus 10% speed, so it's 10% faster to begin with. Gains some extra health, is immune to disease and infections. Does not get sprains, can see in darkness. This looks really, really cool. I am going to play my first one as a war veteran, because it's the one I've played the last 2 games. But like I said, I'll probably play through multiple games because I will die. I'm not good at roguelikes. If you've been watching this channel, you know that. I suck at this shit. But I like it. So we'll play a few different games, probably. But for now, let's take a war veteran. Now, at the beginning, you also get to choose a new perk. And every time you level up, you get to pick a new perk as well. What I took the last couple of times was Thick-Skinned. +1 armor point. That was pretty cool. Maybe I'll take this one, actually. Rapid Recoverer. You regenerate 1 hit point every second turn. Now, even without this, you do get back health as time passes. It's just much slower than this. So this might help us survive a little longer, maybe. You can see each of the choices you have here as well has a prerequisite. You have to have already the healer and tough, which we do have as our war veteran. So anything on this list here, we have the prerequisites required to get it. There are other, you can press tab here to see ones we can't get yet because we don't have the appropriate prerequisites. Let's go with either that or this could be useful too. I mean, they could all be useful. Let's try Rapid Recoverer because we said we would. That was my last character's name. Let's name him something else. Let's call him Arnold. I guess I'm out of space, aren't I? Can't go any further than that. Arnold Trann. The story so far. I stand on a cobbled forest path. Ahead lies a shunned and decrepit old church building. This is the access point to the abhorred Cult of Starry Wisdom. I am determined to enter these sprawling catacombs and rob them of treasures and knowledge. At the depths of the abyss lies my true destiny, an artifact of non-human origin called the Shining Trapezohedron, a window to all the secrets of the universe. Space. Okay, here we go. Now, I didn't show you, there is an option menu at the start. And in the option menu, you can set a bunch of different options. One of the options you can set is to skip this opening. This opening here is the walk up to the church. The church is actually where the real action takes place. Use your number pad here to move. That's what I'm using. There might be other keys you can use as well. The handy question mark, of course, gives you a manual, an online manual, or rather an in-game manual, which is pretty cool. Here's the command list. We're not going to look at it right now. I know most of it. I'll talk to you about it as we go. But you can skip the walk up to this church. Now, in previous versions of the game, in all previous versions to the version I'm playing today that I've personally played, this area alone was kind of deadly. There were wolves. There were wolves out here that could kill you. They don't exist anymore. Instead, you just have a walk up to the church, and there's actually technically nothing out here. It is interesting. This has been the same church each time I've come up. That might be changing in future versions. I'm not sure, but it is the same church. Well, right now, two differences. What are these two differences? Tombstones. This opening venue actually serves as kind of a high score list. You can see, here's my first character I played today, Jack Trubb, a war veteran who had a score of 268. And then Derek Van Ort, who had a score of 255. Now we have Arnold Trann. Just walk into a door to open it up. This tile set is very reminiscent of a classic Rogue to me. Again, I hope you're hearing those sound effects. And if we step on here, we will go down. Now, I should show you a few other things before we even continue. We can see over, well, is my mouse lined up? It's not. I'm going to try to point where I want you to see my mouse, because my mouse and yours are not aligned. You have your hit points, 18 out of 18. We have spell points, 4 out of 4. We have no spells yet, but we do have spell points. Insanity, 26% and 0%. This number to the left of the slash, and again, as I said, I know for a fact there's a future version coming out of this game soon, and it actually mixes up the layout of these numbers. So if the newer version than 19.2 is out, this may no longer apply in terms of the layout of the screen. But as of right now, you can see here we have Insanity 26% and 0%. The 0% to the right of the slash is a permanent number. When you gain Insanity in that column, it goes up, and there may be ways to dismiss it. I'm not sure, to lower it, but I haven't found those yet. In general, that number will slowly increase, and eventually you'll literally go insane, a la many characters in Lovecraft's stories. I think it's an alternate way to die, in fact, or at least lose. This number to the left of the slash, I think it can be lowered in various ways, but one of the ways to lower it is just to go to the next level. This number will increase as you spend time on a given level. When it hits 100% or maybe 101%, it'll reset, but you will gain a phobia. Some permanent detriment to your character that will last the rest of the game. It will also then increase the number to the right of the slash permanently by a certain amount, I think like 15% or so. So be aware of that. Here's our dungeon level. We're on 0. I think that's how much weight we're carrying, 61% of our maximum. This is our armor. Why do we have that armor? We started as a war veteran. We start with a flak jacket. I just pressed I. You can see here, well, again, it's hard for me to tell what I'm pointing at, but we have a machete. That's our hand weapon. Does 2d5 plus 1 damage. That's pretty damn good damage. It accounts for 14% of the weight that we're carrying. It also says here it can be used for destroying corpses more effectively. Bonuses based on attack damage. So I think if we use this in hand-to-hand combat versus undead, like animate corpses, we'll do extra damage, or perhaps they just won't rise again from the dead as easily. We'll talk about that again later. We do have a backup weapon, which is a pistol. We have 7 rounds in it. We also have these backup magazines, as you can see. We actually have 28 rounds to start the game. One of our special abilities as a war veteran, I didn't linger long on the character creation screen, but I'll just tell you, one of their primary abilities is they can switch between their wielded weapon and their prepared weapon instantly. There's no time to do that. Other characters take a round, so if we need to pull out our pistol, it's instant. We also start with this flak jacket, as you can see. We have an electric lantern. This will light up for different areas where we need light. If we need light, I think we can turn it on or off. Press A to use something in your inventory. A medical bag, which can be used to heal us, I think, but for sure it can also be used to remove infections if you get infections. We also have these varied explosives, which I gotta be honest, I've not used yet, so it could account for why I'm dying so easily. Maybe I should be using it more frequently. Throwing knives, let us kill from a distance. It will be a lot quieter than our than our Colt. Probably silent itself, actually. That's about it. Gas mask. Haven't had occasion to use that yet. Let's escape from this. You can also press Shift and 2 or the @ sign to learn about yourself if you want to know anything. Here's our traits that we started with. Adept melee fighter, adept marksman. You can see all the stuff we gained. These 3 obviously were inherent to the war veteran. Plus 10% chance to hit with melee or missile weapons. Plus 10% attack speed with melee weapons. Plus 25% attack speed with a pistol, or firearm rather, and thrown weapons. Plus 50% reload speed with firearms, plus 1 damage with melee attacks. We can use medical equipment, and it takes half the normal time and half the number of resources. That's our medical bag. And our one that we chose, we regenerate 1 hit point every second turn. That's about all we have right now. Let's go down. You press V to look and see if you want to see what anything is. Here's a church bench, aka a pew. An altar. I don't think you can do anything with the altar. Let's try. Let's bump into the altar and see if you can do anything. To bump into stuff, usually, or rather to use stuff in your environment, most of the time I find you just bump into it. Now that the wolves have been removed from this level, you can safely skip this level. One of the options I said, you can just start in the dungeon. Let's just descend. It also gives you the option to save and quit right here. Here we go. I don't like the looks of this. We are surrounded. We're in darkness. We're surrounded by bloody things on the ground. Now, some things I need to point out right away, and things I'm half hinted at earlier and didn't elaborate on. For one thing, you can see here, I have discovered a new area, plus 5% experience. And if you look down at the bottom right here, we now have 5%. We're character level 1, 5% of the way to character level 2. In previous versions of the game, the versions I used to play in the old days, you gained experience like a traditional roguelike by killing monsters was one of the ways. That has been removed. You no longer gain experience for killing monsters. You have to find new areas, or see new monsters you haven't seen before, or read manuscripts, or read mythos type stuff. Again, I mentioned in my last playthrough of Brogue that I wasn't always a fan of games that did that, but I'm actually it's starting to grow on me. I'm starting to realize there are some extreme benefits to that type of design. Again, maybe I'll talk about that more later if we get moving around and we have nothing else to talk about. Let's turn on our lantern, I'm guessing, because it's freaking dark here, right? Let's look and see what's around us. Very dark here, yeah. Stone floor. I thought I'd mention the bloody pulp nature of it, but no. Let's light our lantern, therefore. I turn on an electric lantern. There you go. There's a lot of bloody crap here. This is intimidating as fuck. Let's use our V key to look around a bit. There's a big pile of debris. Rubble. It's an open door. Open wooden door, specifically. That's about all I can see, I guess. Even the red here, I think, is like blood-caked walls. Doesn't say that, but it is. I know from... Oh, we can get some Molotovs here. Let's grab that G. Forget. I pick up a Molotov cocktail. So at least we have that now. I want to look at something here. When I press T to throw, it automatically throws my throwing knives. Is there a way to... maybe you have to activate a Molotov or something. I don't know how to use those explosives. If I press T for throw, it throws the throwing knife automatically. Hey, my cat. That was not a sound effect from the game. That was my creepy bedroom door as my cat nudged it open. These are grates to our side. It's just, you can see through it. No reason to open that door. I don't think if we can get around up here. Well, we can try. Okay. I'm going to try turning off my lantern if I can. Let's see if I can see without it. Do I just A again? A. I turn off an electric lantern. Okay, it's not so dark here, I don't think. I don't want to waste the battery. It was already down to 60 out of 100. There's our first enemy we're seeing. That is a snake of some sort. Let's press V. We can see a black mamba. I pressed V. It leapt that thing right to it. You can see I can move around the thing I'm looking at using that number pad as a brazier. But let's press V again for a description of the black mamba. It is a fierce predator. It hisses menacingly, and venom drips from his fangs. They appear to move fast. A black mamba will remember hostile creatures for at least 5 turns. I'm still having trouble figuring out what all of this means. I'm assuming... Maybe this is our base skill with our melee weapon, 70%. Our weapon is giving us nothing. We don't have any dodging skill, I guess, or maybe the monster doesn't. Range isn't applicable here. But this is our... With the monster's state, maybe once we take into account its defense and range and stuff. I don't know. These two add up to 120. So I guess we have a 120% chance to hit with our melee weapon and a 99% chance to hit with a throwing weapon. Let's throw something at it. I don't want to fire my gun because I don't want to waste the ammo, but I also don't want to alert anything else we're here. Let's throw a knife at it. I press T for throw. And again, if I press T, it'll automatically be a knife. Here, I hit it. You'll notice, too, it was written in blue a minute ago. Or rather, it was highlighted in blue. That meant it hadn't seen me yet. It has seen me now. Alright, I killed it. I didn't want it to poison me. Let's pick back up these throwing knives. Stepping on them and pressing G. You can see our insanity as well is slowly creeping up. Oops, I gotta make sure I'm pointing at the right thing for you. Right here. Insanity is slowly creeping up here. It will creep up the longer you stay on a level. You have to move on eventually or else you're gonna go crazy. But it also will spike if you see anything that's, particularly terrifying or bizarre. That exclamation point beyond this door means there is something here. I heard a voice say Kruostragrara na to the northwest. So that's some sort of cultist chanting. I don't know what the hell he's saying. I don't want to open that door right now and find out the hard way. Here he comes. I'm going to wait by this door and chop him in half. There he goes. So let's go here. Let's get these bullets. He dropped this cartridge for a Colt. We can also go on here, and there's a key we can press. What is it? To unload his gun on the ground. G, capital G. So G to get, or capital G to unload a weapon on the ground. So we got another bunch of rounds for our pistol. Here's the stairs down. So we know where we have to go when it's time to leave. I was mentioning earlier that there are some advantages to not rewarding... Oh, that's, by the way, that's hanging vines. They block line of sight, but they don't block movement. It's like a curtain in Caverns of Saskazian 2. That is not a guy, that's a statue. Yeah, some advantages I've been thinking about lately. What are these? Worm mass. Let's see what they do. One of them sees me. That's the one that's not in blue. What does it tell me about these things? A slithering conglomeration of carnivorous worms. A worm mass will remember hostile creatures for at least 5 turns. So if we can lose them, it'll forget we're here. I don't want to waste ammo on it. I don't know if it... Attacks can always critically fail or succeed. Let's just hack them apart. Let's just leave this. Oh, they're all aware of me now. Let's let them come towards me and we'll see. Whoa, there's a lot of them coming. There's a lot of them in here. A lot of worms. Okay, we got them all, though. And because of our rapidly regenerating health, we're back to full. What I wanted to say was... oh, it's a wolf. And that one sees me. Those things are quite deadly. Again, I don't know how to read this. Other than say a large wolf with eyes full of cunning. They appear to move fast. Wolf will remember hostile creatures. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know how to read this stats. We can't get through here. Neither can he. There's another worm mass coming. Oh, they divide. That's why. Interesting. Two design principles at work here. Shit, what is that? Another worm mass. And the wolf's got to be coming soon. Oh, there's a grate there. That's why you can't get through. You can drink from that fountain by bumping into it. I don't want to do that yet. Well, maybe I will. I drink from the fountain. It's very refreshing. The fountain dries up. I don't know what that did for me, if anything. Maybe it would give me back spell points. The wolves are penned. It doesn't seem to be... Oh, there's a medical bag in there. Can I search? Is there a way to search? Sorry, I know I get on topics and then I get distracted by playing the game and I forget to finish my thought. I'll finish it in a second. Let's look for search together first. Make some noise if you want to lure monsters. Display message history, throw a carried object, or throw a held explosive. So you have to switch. Apparently you have to switch to ready something. Select which item as a thrown weapon. Okay, capital T to switch. Interesting. Kick a door is W, or kick a body, or whatever. I'm not seeing anything here. No, I don't know how to search for doors, or maybe you can't, I don't know. Begin to that. Oh, here's a... Oh, it's a chest. Not a medical kit. Oh, that's a chest. Okay, how do I open this? O, maybe? Nope. The chest is locked. Can we kick it open? W. I kicked the lid. Lock resist. Let's see if we can find a key first. Let's kick this open. Alright. You can sprain yourself sometimes when you kick stuff like that, but as a war veteran, we're more resistant to that than most creatures. Most characters, pardon me. There's something over here. Let's get this. I found a manuscript titled Odiosix Profanx. So there you go. There's one of the ways we can increase our experience is by finding things like this. Let's press G to get it. And let's go to our inventory. Let's actually read it. You can press A for activate. We're going to activate G. I recite the forbidden incantations of the manuscript. The manuscript crumbles to dust. I have identified a manuscript as searching. I can now cast this incantation from memory. So that's how you learn spells. Just like caverns, you got to find the damn thing and then, memorize it. If we press X for cast, we can see what it is. We now have this. Reveals the presence of creatures, doors, traps, stairs, and other locations of interest in the surrounding area. Well, that will help us... I don't know how you get your spell points back, but that will help us... Oh, we don't know how to open this yet, do we? That would theoretically help us open this thing if there's a secret door here. Let's try it. Let's try X, A. Cast spell and risk depleting your spirit? Yes. I cast searching, so I can see those monsters, but it didn't show anything else up, did it? I don't know what that just said. I can press... There's message history, isn't there? A, command list. Display message history is M. Whoops. Nothing. Wolf looks weary. Wary, rather, not weary. I don't think I can kick this open, can I? I don't want to try. Oh, there's a web. Where'd that come from? V. A spider web. Interesting. I'm going to try kicking this again, though. W for wham. Oh, the lock breaks and the lid flies open. Okay. Pick up 4 shotgun shells? Yes. Pick up a spike gun? Yes. Alright. My weight's getting heavy, but that's about it. Let's head down to the next level. Yeah, 2 things this game does that, one of which it didn't used to do, and that is that monsters don't give you experience. The other thing that it does is the classic rogue victory condition. Go to the bottom of a level of a dungeon, get an item, and get back out. I mention both of these because neither of these things does Caverns of Zeskasian or Caverns of Zeskasian 2 do, and it's way too late. The game structure depends. The game structure and the game lore depends on both those things intact. You have to kill a monster to win the game. That's kill Zeskasian. That's your mission. Like in Moria, you have an assassination mission as opposed to Rogue, where you have a retrieval mission. And monsters definitely give you experience. That's one of your main gateways to experience. It would be a massive overhaul to undo that, and I don't know that I'd want to. The game works as it is, but the advantages I see in both those cases is it enables different kinds of builds. You can build a rogue build. You can build a stealth build. You can build a build of a character that is entirely avoiding monsters, that is trying to tiptoe down to the bottom, get the item, and get back out and still win the game. You can't do that in a game where you have an assassination mission to win, of course, because you have to have a final conflict with a main boss. Maybe there's other ways besides just killing them. Even in caverns, you could set traps, you could cast spells, you could pray, you can do all kinds of things. But you do have to have that final battle with a big demon. Whereas in this game, that's not necessary. And the fact that you gain experience from killing things means, you know, monsters are not just an obstacle. They are they're a resource. And there are disadvantages to that for sure, because again, it forces you to at least be somewhat combat ready. Whereas you could make a total geek in this whose only job is to hide and, I don't know, find other ways. Let's descend. Let's also check the time. I think we're still okay for... here, we discovered a new area. It's plus 5% experience. How are we doing for time here? So let me look. We're at 25 minutes. So in about 5 minutes time, we're going to call this quits. Perhaps when we get to the next stairs. When we get to the next stairs, we'll go down, we'll say save and quit. Unless we die en route, which is probable. How do we get in there? Right here. A spiked mace. Let's get that. Let's take a look at it. What do we know about it? Our machete. Our machete does 2d5 plus 1 with an average of 7. The spiked mace, I'm guessing, does an average of 10. Yeah, 2d7 plus 2 with an average of 10. It can be used for destroying corpses more effectively as well. They have a 25% chance to stun the victim as well, rendering them unable to act for a brief time. It's noisy, as opposed to the machete. Is the machete noisy? Yeah, likewise. I think we're going to switch over. How do we do that? W for wield, maybe? Nope. That's wham, of course. How do we equip something? Activate. We know how to do that. Let's try activate first. That would make sense if it's all one key. Activate. Nope. That's not going to work. Let's just go to inventory. Maybe press enter on it? Where is it? We also have this as a weapon. A very strange and crude weapon capable of launching iron spikes with enough forks to pierce flesh. It seems almost to be deliberately designed for cruelty rather than pure stopping power. It's kind of neat. Let's switch to this for now, if we can. Can we press enter? No, I cannot apply that. What is the command to switch? Z? Well, how do we switch weapons? Give me 1 second here. Auto move, aim, fire, pick up item, unload, browse, display, make some noise, reload, wait, throw a carried object, select. Swap. I wonder if you press Shift Z. I mean, if T is throw and Shift T is swap, you're that. If you press Shift Z. No, Z. No, I pressed X by accident. Okay, that's just that. Unknown command. Damn it. How do we do this? Alternative enter key. Display character. Melee attack. Disarm a trap. Well, this is a fine kick in the teeth, isn't it? I have no idea how to do this. Son of a bitch. Really? Maybe E for equip? No, that was something else, wasn't it? E. Nope. Come on, man. From the top, in-game menu. This manual. Options. Quit. Cancel / proceed. Select something in a menu. Confirm. Alternative enter key. Display a character information. Melee attack an adjacent known monster. Activate, read, or consume an item. Obviously, that's not it. Close a door or jam. Nope. Disarm a trap. Auto move. Nope. Aim or fire wielded weapon. Nope. Pick up an item. No. Unload or pick up ammunition from the ground. No. Browse your inventory. We can try that again. M. Display message history. Make some noise. Reload. Wielded firearm. Wait. And search. That is S. Okay, good to know. Throw a carried object or throw a held explosive. Select which item to use as a thrown weapon. View descriptions of things on the map. Kick or strike objects or destroy corpses. Swap or ready to ready weapon. Pardon me. Cast a spell. So none of those. I is our only bet. How do we do this? Oh, maybe we go up here and press enter on this. Wielded. I put away my machete. Okay. Okay, you press enter on wielded to put something away, and then press enter on the new thing. I am now wielding a spiked mace. Okay. Let's pick this up. I found a frothy potion that gave us 10% experience. Not going to drink it just yet. This does have an identification subsystem, just like Rogue or something. Where, oh shit, Let's wait here for him. That was a cultist who shot at us. Just like in Rogue, where you need to use an item to figure out what it does. There we go. I missed him, damn it. There, he's dead. Let's kill this rat thing, too. Let's look at the rat thing. At first sight, a rat thing can be easily mistaken for a large, dark rat. On closer examination, however, their human hands and evil caricatures of human heads reveal their unnatural nature. Rat things are said to be created from dead cultists by foul witchcraft. Thus they are found where the witch who created them had her lair. A rat thing will remember hostile creatures for at least 5 turns. They are unsettling to behold. I assume that means we gain some insanity just by looking at it. Maybe the first time we saw it, or maybe any time. There was a short story, I can't remember which one it was, I haven't read it in years, but a Lovecraftian short story that had a little rat creature called Brown Jenkins, which I thought was the best name. It was a witch's familiar. Brown Jenkins, a little rat with a human head. That's what that is, I guess. What is that? A strange shape. Let's bump into it and see what happens. Oh, there's another one. I avoid a strange shape. Is it a monster? It seems to be moving. Alright, we got it. Covertly. What is that strange shape shit about? Let's avoid that area for now. His sanity's still fine. He hasn't seen me. The cultist, Abigami. I don't know if that's his name or if that's what he said. A fanatic cultist of the lowest rank, madly gibbering in some half-lost language. They may occasionally have learned to cast a spell or two, although never with any great skill. Therefore, they tend to rely on mundane firearms to handle threats. The cultists remember hostile creatures for at least 16 turns. Much longer memory. Do they all have, I don't want to... fuck. Alright. Killed him. Killed him. Let's get a yellow potion. Get a flare. What are those things? A mold. A sickly growth thriving in damp areas. It produces toxic spores, which it stores in slimy heads. That doesn't look like I want to have tangle with it. What is this thing? A statue of a ghoulish creature. What if we switch to nope. Can we not switch to what we want to throw? Do we have to... How do we... Pressing Shift T gives us an option to throw different things, but none of those things are the, like a Molotov. How the hell do you use that? Molotov / explosives. Is there anything about explosives here? Perhaps I'll look this up in between games. I'm spending a lot of time here looking up games. Or rather, looking up, throw a held explosive. How do you... Maybe we do the same thing. If we go to I... No, there's no, What if I just press enter here? I light a Molotov cocktail. Well, there you go. So you press enter there first, but I can't throw it. What the fuck? I'm carrying it. Am I not? Unless it's automatically. Maybe I'll just press T and... Okay, yeah. Now that you have it lit, if you throw it, it's automatic. Let's throw it right here. T. I throw a lit Molotov cocktail. I hear hissing. The mold is burning. ×3. The mold is scorched by flames. The mold is destroyed. ×3. So I got 3 of them. There's something else moving. Oh, there's a freaking snake. Pit viper. You can see smoke still coming from all this stuff. Okay, there we go. Does that mean, is that fire or is that just like red flames? So you don't want to enter that space. Let's wait till that dies down a bit. Oh, there we go. Whoop. I'm scorched by flames. Shit. Apparently it can still spread a bit. Whoops, what was that? I didn't see what that was. I moved too quickly. Oh, it's just a worm mass. Probably better off with my machete for these things. There's another fountain. Alright, we're coming into that area we saw through the grate. Wonder if we can get around the star-shaped patterns on the floor. Yeah, you see when I kill that thing, the blood's kicking the wall, the red. Alright, well that's what's back here. There's no reason to go over there. I don't know what those star things are. Whoa! Guys, don't hold down a key. How many roguelikes do I have to play with you watching before it sinks into me? Don't hold down a key. That was the equivalent of like a bloat in Brogue, where if you kill it, it explodes. I could have handled that no problem. I could have shot it from a distance, but I stupidly held down a key and ran into it. There is an auto move in this as well, which probably would have allowed us to move quickly without doing what I just did. I am so embarrassed. Well, there you go. That's the end of the game. We're going to call it there. I'm going to come back and play another round, though. We'll play as maybe a rogue. We'll try something different. Yeah, I'll get these videos up when I can. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. And I guarantee you when the new Infra Arcana comes out, I'll give that a try, too, because I don't think it's very far off. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye.